So today I will going to show you what is the control flow statement in Java or any programming language. Control flow statement actually means how you are controlling the flow of execution of programs. So there we're going to use condition, branching like switch, okay, switch statement and branching statement, break, continue, return, looping statement, for loop, while loop, do while, and conditions like if condition, if else, nested if, right? So decision making we do it, right? So in this control flow statement, we're going to see all this. We're going to first see what are the condition statements like if then, if else, switch condition. We're going to see the loop and we're going to see the branching also. So let's start. I i hope you all aware about the if else conditions in any programming language. If you have studied any programming language, I'm taking into consideration that you might have studied C language in your third semester and all. So at least you should know like what is if conditions and all. So this if condition actually use when you want to check any condition, certain condition, right? Like for example, we make it like if I give you one example, suppose if today's class happen, if suppose if I took the class today, then you will get recording. So what is the condition? If I took class today, then you will get the recording of the class, right? Else, otherwise, if I don't take the class today, then for that day, there will be no recording in the YouTube, right? So this is a condition you are applying. Just like if you remember, uh, in our childhood, our parents used to say, if you score more than 95%, I will going to purchase you a watch. I will going to purchase a bicycle, right? So that is called a condition that we are applying so that if certain condition satisfy, we will going to do certain step, right? So that is called if then condition. If if it is this, then you will going to run this, right? I will going to show you practically what actually this one. And similarly, there is one more thing that if then else statement. In that scenario, if if that condition doesn't satisfy, then you will going to do what? That step you usually write it here. For example, if I say that, for example, if I say like if you study hard, you will going to clear your gate interview and you will going to score more, or you will going to score good marks in your engineering stream. Else you have to work hard again, right? That something you can say. Or you can say like suppose, for example, as I said you, if the class happen you will get recording, else there will be no recording in the YouTube. So this is called else part. Means what else? If is moving, then you will going to do some operation, else you will going to do certain operation. For example, here also, this is one program. If the score is greater than 90, then grade is equal to A, and you will going to print A, right? This is one program for grading. So suppose if score is greater than 90, we're going to, then in that case, if if your score is greater than 90, you will score a grade A, you will going to print grade A. If your score is greater than 80, this is else if part. Else if means multiple condition you are checking. Agar if your score is greater than 80, then the grade will be B. If the score is greater than 70, then the grade will be C. So you are giving a different condition. Like if the weather is today, if the weather is good, I will go for play. Else if weather is rainy, I will go for play football. Else if weather is sunny, I will going to play indoor game. Else if weather is windy or like a heavy storm kind of thing, then I will going to uh, fly kites, right? So that kind of else if conditions are there. So these are the different condition, if else and all. Now inside this, what is your looping statement? Okay, but before that, let's see branching statement, that is switch, continue, and break. The switch statement, why? I hope it is clear to you, right? What is if condition, if else? Are you aware about it? Are you aware about it? If else condition, you might have studied it, right? In your third semester, in a C language, you might have studied it. Okay, yeah, thanks. So you might have studied it, right? Like what actually this condition is, right? So we're going to see this. So here, what is a switch statement? Switch statement are used when for a single variable, multiple values are possible and you want to trigger that particular case. What is the syntax of switch? For example, here you are taking a month. Okay. Now this month can have any possible value, right? Ranges from 1 to 12. If month is equal to January, then you will going to break it, or February break it. So for this month, there are different 12 possible values are possible, right? So in that scenario, we use switch statement. What is the syntax of that? You just write switch, the variable that you are going to check. So the first case will be if your month, if your month that this variable value equal to January, you will going to break. If this month string is equal to Feb, you will going to break. So you're going to check it here now, right? So switch statement are used when you wanted to check a variable whose multiple values are possible. Okay. For example, string is equal to month string. So if your month is January, you are going to do certain operation, right? Then if your month is February, you will going to do certain operation. Or you can say if month is January, it is a winter season, then you are going to do certain operation. If month is February, it's the spring season, you're going to do certain operations. Similarly, like that. So switch statement are used in a scenario where you wanted to check a variable whose multiple values are possible. So for this month, you can see this month will be having value 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? So like this it works. And now the while, yeah. Anyone having any question? Yeah. Now the looping. Looping means what? When you wanted to iterate over this repeatedly any set of a statement. For example, here, suppose you have a condition that you wanted to print the count variable unless it is less than 11. You initialize a count variable as a 1 and you are checking with the while condition. If this condition is true, then only you will come inside. Why do we use condition here? If this condition while is true, then you will come inside and you will going to print that. If this condition is not true, you will not come inside. So now see, count is equal to 1. Okay, how the flow is working, I will going to explain you here. First, count is 1. Is 1 is less than 11? Condition true. So once condition is true, you will come inside. You will going to print I is equal to 1. Now count plus plus. If you remember post increment, what do you mean by this count plus plus? You will going to increment the value of 1. Now what will be the value of 1? The sorry, count variable. The count variable now become 2 now. Once it done increment, the count variable value will become 2. Now again you are going to check, is 2 is less than 11? Condition again true. You will come inside, you will print like this, count is current count value, so it will be 2. Then you will going to increment the count value, that is it will become 3. Then again you will go to this while condition, you will going to check, is 3 is less than 11? Condition true, you will going to print. So in this way it will works. The first step is checking the variable value. Second step, check the condition. Third step, running whatever, if the condition true, run all the statement that are present inside this curly brace. Once the all the step done, the fourth step is again you will go back to the condition. So like this you have to understand how the flow works. Now you might be face a situation also, especially in the gate they ask. In the gate exam, what they will going to do, they will going to give you true here inside the while loop. What does it mean? Whenever you find true inside this, true means 1. Okay, true actually represented as a 1 in, if or in a programming language. So whenever you pass true instead of any condition here, that loop will run infinite time, because that condition will be true all the time, right? You need some situation where your condition become false. As your condition become false, now here it will going to print almost how many times? Less than 11, right? So it will going to print almost 10 times. Now once the value of count will become 11 here, so is 11 is less than 11? No, right? Condition false, so it will immediately get out of the loop. This will be your outer part. This is your, this is your outer part, and here you will going to print from 1 to 10. So like this it works. When it will be true, it will going to print infinite loop. What do you mean by this infinite loop? Infinite loop means that loop will run continuously, you can't break it. It will continuously print. I will going to show you how it works. Now there is one, let me rub this and show you the syntax for a do while. We're going to see practically today. Just wanted to give you some brief ideas so that you can recall it. Do while statement is what? In do while, it is similar to the while condition. Only thing is that the while condition is below the do, means the syntax is like this: do curly brace statement, closing the curly brace, and then while condition. So the difference between while and do while is what? That even after the condition is false, you will going to print the statement at least one time. What do you mean by this? See, when you will going to run the program, here you can see count is equal to 1, right? Now you will come inside, you will going to print the count value 1, you will going to increment it, and then you are going to check the condition. Is 2 is less than 11? Condition true, you will come inside. But suppose there is a scenario where once you have a condition like count is less than 2, okay, and you count is less than 2 here. Suppose I made a changes here, count is less than 2. Now you tell me, like count is equal to 1 here, right? 2. As you come inside, you will going to print count is 1. You will going to increment it, count equal to now become 2. Now you're going to check a condition. Is 2 is less than 2? Suppose if I replace 11 by 2, is 2 is less than 2? No, condition false. It means that it will going to print even that situation. What I said you in while loop, I said you will going to print this statement only in a scenario when this condition will become true, right? But we are able to see in a do while opposite to that. So do while will going to execute a loop at least once if your condition become false, even if your condition become false, which is not in while loop. Am I clear to all of you? Do while is opposite to that of a while loop. It will going to execute your statement at least one, even after the condition become false. And if it is like correct condition, then it will work in a similar way. Only difference is that while condition we are adding at the end here, but in while loop we use it at the above. But in case of do while, it will be at the end. So this is called about do while. Let me show you now while, and we're going to see then the practical example. So in the for loop, you might have remembered for loop. What are the things that you require in the for loop? Initialization, condition, increment, right? So initialization means from what variable value you want to start the looping. Second is your condition, and then third is increment decrement operator. So suppose your the task is to print the value of 1 to 10. Why do we use looping, right? If I ask you the reason, can anyone tell me why do we use looping? Why do we use looping? Can anyone tell me? Can you hear me? Am I audible? Yeah, somewhat correct, bro. Actually, looping, why do we use? So that we can prevent our time, so that we can save our time. For example, if I say you print your name 10 times. Suppose if I say you print your name 10 times in Java, how you're going to do that? You just have to write like this. If you are not aware about the looping, what step you are going to follow? You are going to print in this way. Suppose Dhruv, I'm taking one example. I will say that you want hey Dhruv, just print your name 5 times. So if you are not aware about looping, you will going to write like this. So is it an efficient solution to write the or to print your name 5 times? If it is 5, then I can say okay because you are the beginner. But what if I say you to print your name 1,000 times? Will you able to write 1,000 instruction? It will be more time consuming, right? So in place of this, how you can do that? In place of this, you can write this code. integer I is equal to 1, for I equal to 1, I is less than equal to 5, I plus plus, and inside this condition, I will going to paste this. Now, which is more suitable solution? Suppose in case if you want to print 100 times your name, so how many line of instruction you will going to write with this method? 100 line additional plus your class name, public static void main and all. So almost 105 to 106 line of code you will going to write, right? This will, if I say you to print your name 100 times, so this kind of instruction you will going to write 100 times plus this 111, 112, 13, and 114, 115. Sorry, 100 and 100, 101, 102, 103, 104, and 5. So almost 105 line of code you will going to write. But with this code, you will going to write down how many steps? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, almost 10 to 11 line. So how it will going to work? I is equal to 1. Is 1 is less than 100, you will come inside, you will going to print the name, the flow will go back to the increment part, it will I value will become 2, then again you are going to check the condition, is 2 is less than 100, you will come inside, you will going to print. So this is the way of reducing the size of a code. How you are going to, what will be the flow of the code? First you will going to check the condition. The first step is to check the condition. Second step, sorry, the first step is to check the initialization. Second step is used to check the condition. Okay. Once you check the condition, if the condition is true, you will come inside this statement, inside the curly brace. You will going to print the statement. This is your third step. Once you're going to print the statement, okay, the flow will go back again to this, and you will going to perform increment decrement operation. That is your fourth step. Once you are done with this, now with the incremented value or decremented value, whatever it is, sorry, now with incremented value or decremented value, you will going to take it, right? You will going to move it here. So this is your fifth step. So in the fifth step, again you will going to check the condition. Now here, once I is equal to 1, condition true, right? The second condition is this one, condition true, you will come inside, you will going to print that. Then the next step, you will come inside, you will increment it. Now the I value will become what? I value will become 2, right? Earlier it was 1. 1 is less than 100, condition true. You come inside, you print that. You will come to this part, I value will become 2 now. You will going to check the condition, is 2 is less than 100, condition true. Then you will come inside again, you will going to execute the step 3, you will going to perform step 4, then again step 5. So like this it works. So the reason why do we use looping? To reduce the size of a program, code, or a statement. So this is the example. So let's see in our Eclipse, how do we do that? So as I given you an example, first of all, we're going to see the if condition. In if condition, this how we're going to start the programming. First, you have to create the class name. Okay, you can give any class name. How you're going to start the project? In order to start the project, click on File, New, Java Project, give any name here. Once you give a name, click on Finish. So once you click on Finish, it will going to give you a structure where your this part will not be there. You will get like this structure. This package means what? Package means you will going to create one package. Inside this, you will kept all the files. So package is a collection of files. For example, you are suppose creating one project, attendance software. So you can write down the package attendance software. So you can keep all the relevant file with respect to this project here in the package. So you can create a package. You can see here this box is actually the package name. This condition inside this src, src stand for source code. Src stand for source code. In the source code, condition is my package. Condition module is a package name, which is a collection of file. Which file? Java programming file. Now here the scenario, as I said you, if you want to check the mark, okay, if how the algorithm works. Suppose you declare a variable integer marks is equal to 95. Now you wanted to check if condition, if my marks is greater than 35, you will going to print pass. If my marks is less than 35, you will going to print fail. If my marks is less than 33, again it will going to fail. So like this you can add it and you can create it. Here just see the conditions. This is one block of the code. Block of the code means what? Opening braces and closing braces. That is called as a block of the code. If marks is greater than 35, if your marks, what is the current value of marks here? 95, right? So is this condition is true with respect to this marks is greater than 35? Correct. Because 95 is greater than 35, right? The current value of marks is greater than 35, right? So which statement will execute? This one. Now you're going to check this. Is marks is less than 35? No. Current value of marks 95 is not less than 35. So this part won't execute. Is marks is less than 33? No, right? So let me run and show you. So I'm running this code. For that, you just need to click on this button and click on OK. So it is giving you a statement pass, which means that it is executing this part. So if your marks 95 greater than 35, you will going to print this line, right? So this is the way of doing the if condition program. In if condition, this you just have to add a condition and the statement. If this condition become true, then you are going to run this statement. What if you wanted to add a else part? Suppose if your marks is not greater than 35, then instead of adding multiple if condition, you can add a else part also. So for that, this is a program. So here you can see else part. Why do we add else part? If you want to check the another side of the statement. For example, if your marks is less than 35, let me change it to increase. If your marks is greater than 35, you will going to pass. Otherwise, you will going to fail, right? If marks is greater than 35, you will going to pass, otherwise you will going to fail. But what is the current value of marks here? The current value of marks is 62, right? So if the marks value is greater than 35, yeah. So the current value of marks is 62. So if this marks is greater than 35, which block of the code will execute? This block. Else, this block of the code will execute. It is a situation kind of thing. If today climate is windy or rainy, I will going to play football. Else, if this climate is not windy or rainy today, I will stay at my home, right? So this is way you are going to do if else condition. There will be two part, if and else part. Guys, we have only 1 minute. In case if the session get ended, please rejoin once again the same link. Okay, I hope you all have a link. I send you on the chat. Rejoin once again the link if it get ended. So here, let's see about if else if. Now suppose if you have a multiple if condition, what you will going to do? So either you can write it like if marks is greater than 90, then grade A. If marks is greater than 80, then grade B. Or you can write if else if also. If else if means if this condition true, then this part, else if this part, else if this part, else if any of the condition doesn't match, then we're going to print this part. So like this it works. So we'll continue in if you rejoin, we're going to continue this program. I'll going to explain. So please rejoin the meeting once again so I can cover all the module today.